Not bad.
Not bad. You've been better. You've been better.
I'm okay, teacher.
You've
I'm
seen
a
better
little
days.
sleepy. I'm a little sleepy.
Little sleepy.
But I'm okay. Yeah,
What time is it in Mexico?
It's 8:36 p.m.
8:36.
1 hour
Mm,
less.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
the school bag
School's back.
hit me. Hit me.
So it hit you like a truck in the
Yeah.
face.
Totally.
Okay, so the only person that we have new in this vignette right now that I didn't see was Antonella.
Oh,
She's the only one that turned
right.
turned it in late. For the rest of them, also Aolani turned it in the last minute, but I could catch it. And then Antonella is the only one that I'm missing. Everybody else has their comments on their vignettes.
Yeah.
How did you feel in this vignette, you guys?
We need to improve or practice a lot the pronunciation.
Right.
In my case, and the most most of all on the see, because I read the feedback. Sincerely, I can't see the videos, right? But in the feedbacks, the most common feedback, I don't know that is, it was the intonation and the pronunciation. And
Yeah, you could.
I found
Can you hear you?
that I couldn't
Juanca, you're cutting out, and also if you can put your microphone close to your mouth, if you may, because it's hard to hear you this way.
Okay, I told you. Okay, I told you that in my script I found many things that I didn't want to see.
Yeah,
To say.
right.
I didn't want to say, right? So
Right.
it was so confused for whatever. And in fact, in the script that I showed in the vignette, it was different.
Yeah, I guess that there still needs to be some more work dedicated with patience and focus on the pronunciation and trying to make the best of it. And I think that it requires not any special superpowers, just time, I think. So when you want to sing a song, then you have to rehearse, practice again and again. And there's no mercy. I mean, if you don't have enough practice for you to sound that song the way it's supposed to be, then we cannot say really that you're singing, right? Maybe you think you're singing and other people say you're screaming. Yeah. And it all boils down to practice. You need more hours, then you need more hours. It's too long and I don't have enough time. Make it short vignette. And repeat until you look, sound the things that you're talking. I mean, it needs to come alive through you. And it needs to be clear, etc. I mean, like that's the work that we need to start concentrating our attention on. And it's obviously going to make us feel hot under the collar. It's going to make us feel impatient. It's going to make us scratch our heads, but we just need to continue making it happen until eventually it yields results. But I think that we're at that struggle, that fight, where the target keeps moving, like we talked about before. You have this mistake figured out and you work on it, and then there's another mistake that pops up.
Yep.
It's like playing the game of whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole is like pegarle al topo que sale.
Yeah.
Por otro lado, táquete.
The short blanket.
Yeah.
When you How do you say tapar?
You try to cover yourself,
Cover.
and then you uncover your feet.
Exactly. You cover your head and
You cover your feet.
your feet. Exactly.
It's a short blanket, man. That's right. That's right. And so don't feel that it's something that is personal, that you can't make it. It's just the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game. You just have to gotta keep hitting it like Michelangelo hitting the David. You see that perfect statue, a concrete block of what is it, Carraro? Marble? Creo que es mármol de Carraro or Carrero. Something that, not completely sure. But I'm sure that it's pretty hard, smooth, and white, and he selects the perfect block, and then he needs to make David out of that block. And it takes just, time and hitting it, and then making it smooth until he gets it.
Okay. I want to say something, Fab. I guess your idea about announce a leads for get the feedback internal, but I think it's important to leave the logistic before and try to do the same way the last week. The last week you turned off, right? You come and you watch our
Your
meeting.
interactions.
Or
Yeah,
interaction.
so it's better not to delegate completely to you.
No, because for example, in my case, the meeting, the Zoom is limited, so
Right.
we can short. In
Yeah, that
time.
was the idea with having the like 4 leads, so you could cover all the distance. I mean, see every video that you were assigned, maybe 3 or 4 in 45 minutes. But yeah,
Exactly.
maybe
we
maybe
can
you need more
see-
time.
And we can see the our interaction in YouTube before.
Or we
because
can continue.
it's the opportunity to give ourselves our feedback in this session, because it's just improvisation, because it's the idea.
Right.
In my case, I like the last section because we are interact with us, and you are
the back.
control the room, but we are interacting with us, that they give us the feedback each other, and you are try to, hey guys, you can do that, or maybe you can improve it that in this way, or this pronunciation, I don't know. But the other way, that the people who were in the room only review the business that the people stay in the room. The other business, I don't know. You have the feedback for us. Yes, that in the Padlet you can find your business, your video, you can review. But in the moment, well, the people who stay in the room try to review that business, like the last session, Fab. I like that strategy.
Johan,
Okay.
Johan raised the hand.
Yeah, Johan wants to say something. Johan.
Yeah, I'm a little bit out of context because I just joined in the meeting. So I'm going to ask something technical about 2 words. I think I can do that later because you are talking about something important, I think. No.
Yes and no, doesn't matter. You can ask everything you want. No worries.
Yeah, because it's different context
No worries.
about what Edu were saying, so maybe it could be weird. So the question is, you were mentioned about practicing and doing a lot of stuff and about the rehearsal.
Mhm.
So the question is just about that, the difference, the difference between practice and rehearsal. One is for practice and be skilled, and the other one is to master, or they are synonyms.
Well, you normally rehearse a script, right? That's what artists do when they have a script. They rehearse the script. So it's not really practice. I mean, practice can be open to interpretation, but the script is, if the script constrains the experience, then you call it rehearsal. It might be a song or a group of songs, melodies that you're playing as a band, or if you're an actor playing a role, then you rehearse with the rest of the actors as if it were the play or the scene that you're shooting, for example. So that's rehearsal.
For example, as I said, your aim is to master something, to be better doing something.
Your script, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that we have maybe two approaches to what we want to accomplish. One is free practice through improvised theater, and the other one is controlled rehearsal of a script. So you create your script, and then you rehearse it to the point that you make the script become part of you, and the script becomes alive through you. And then the other technique is to learn to practice spontaneously, on the spontaneity of whatever happens in the moment. And so those two approaches. But yeah, definitely I would say that we need to zero in on no mistakes, because that is the matter of rehearsal. And you're right, Johan. I mean, it's not that enough you to be master, is the fact that you cannot leave off the script. I mean, every mistake is you leaving the script behind. Every mistake takes away from the script. You see? And the mistake doesn't have to be the evident mistake that you didn't put the S, or you add an S where it was not supposed to be, took the preposition out, didn't link here, create a too long a pause here, this word didn't sound right, the stress moved in this other word, the intonation was off. Yes, those are obvious mistakes, but also the mistake where you don't connect with your script. That is a more fundamental mistake that can happen. You have to embody the script, because after all, it's your stories. So it needs to look, sound, and feel believable. You need to make us feel the pain. You know, some of you were very good at doing that. You're like, this story or this collection of stories was about pain. This collection of stories was obviously an anecdote. We're practicing the forms of the past, the linked past and all that, but it's an anecdote that talks about pain. And the idea with this script was to make us feel the pain. Oh my God, yeah, that's painful. Like Juanca, when there's that enormous crash, and he braces for the crash, and then there's that, and he describes the sound of the crash. It immediately takes you back to whatever idea you have of something similar in your past. It takes you back to that moment, and you can feel that the force of the impact. You can hear the resounding, buzz in your ears. That's magical. And that's what we need to, that's probably the worst mistake, not to be able to communicate the pain. I mean, you have to make people feel ouch, and then you did your job. The rest, yes, the rest is like Michelangelo. You need to just hit it, and then make it smooth. Hit it, make it smooth. Clean it, continue. Do it until it sounds perfect, because otherwise you're just making noise. I mean, yes, you're trying to communicate the pain, but the pain is to try to understand what you're saying. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, this one was maybe a little too critical of some of you. I was very harsh, and I'm dividing the feedback in constructive criticism as well as the positive things that I also see. But I know that overall, for some of you, was like, you know, like what positive? It was all negative. Yes, and it felt that way, but I decided not to change it because I'm trying to make it just like one single motion. Like when you're taking a Band-Aid, just one single motion. That's it. I mean, if it hurts, it hurts. Take it. Make it better next time. That's it.
Okay. That is good, and I enjoy the vignette for this special topic that you mentioned. In the case, for example, that we can remember small details about the anecdote. In my case, for example, I can remember that my reaction, because when I found the inevitable collision, I remember what was my reaction about that, to prepare for the collision. So it was a good idea to explain in the details, because when you are talking about something or an anecdote in your mother language, you try to act into the situation, because is the good way
Your element.
to say the story. To tell the story.
And yeah, I think that this was like Juanca's saying, I think this was a vignette to discover the little details, the minutiae, the things that you normally don't think are important, but they make the story come alive. And yeah, you don't need to be actors, singers, storytellers, writers, dramatists, you know, but it doesn't hurt to be a little bit of that, you know, to be a little bit of a script writer, a playwright, right? And yeah, we need to become drama machines. I think that the administration of drama in these vignettes is just kind of a commitment for us. No compromises, meaning you cannot leave the opportunity of making this a dramatic impact for everybody, for you, for your audience. You know, you have to satisfy. Let's start thinking of each production for each Monday as a debt that you have to your group of partners here that always turn in their work punctually, is to satisfy, to surprise, to scare, yeah, to excite. You know, like if we come here together on a Monday night, it should be considered that everybody's paying a ticket, because you're paying your tickets, you know, whatever the price is. And then you come here, you sit down, and you're like, okay, let's start. So do it for everybody, also for yourself, but also for everybody. Entertain. You know, like start thinking, how can I entertain my people? Because look, all of these guys, Ana, Adri, Anto, Alba, Diana, Nancy, Eddie, Herman, all of them come here, and the expectation, yeah, is to turn in their work, but also try to go the extra mile. And besides fulfilling the work that you're asked to do, surprise, right? Excite, make people fall in love with the character. Sometimes people have achieved that, where we are like, oh my God, oh, that's so sad, or that's so beautiful. Oh my God, thank you for sharing. Yeah, we always have to go back to that, you know, like make it a very serious commitment to do it for the audience too. I leave you always the in the comments now. Okay, great. I think that it was convincing to everybody, to your audience, to your partners, to the group. I think that everybody felt it. I felt it. And I want to believe that other people did too. And so continue working on that, continue chipping at the marble. You know, like obviously this is for the long run. This is not going to happen next week. It's not going to become better. But over time, you know, like we did last year, I promised you, okay, look back now and see the distance you've covered and what is your status now in comparison. and then compare at the end of the year. And then if we're lucky enough to sustain this project for another year, which would be utopic, I think that maybe this is the moment of truth right now. This is where people start to feel like, I'm not making enough advancement. I feel stuck, or this is becoming boring. Well, the only way to make this happen constantly is to strive to break the mold, our mold each time. It's like to do something that you feel so proud of that you cannot stop doing it. But if we fall into comfort, which is the common denominator, then we start to be like, yeah, I know, I can do it. But how about you push? Some of you push really hard each time, and sometimes you take a step back too, because, it happens. Sometimes you just can't help it. I mean, it is the matter of everything. Everything is in constant flux, right?
Mm.
So you make progress and then you regress, and then you're like, oh, shoot, and you feel bad sometimes. Some weeks you feel like you didn't do enough, or it sucked. And
Teacher.
it's gonna be like that. Yes, Nancy.
Sorry, the last week I didn't my vignette. So my daughter, she told me, "Hey mom, where's your vignette? I want to see you." And then I didn't.
That's beautiful.
Why not? I
And
don't
that's
have time.
beautiful. That means that you now have a
she's
commitment
waiting
to
my
your
vignette.
daughter. Exactly. You have a commitment to your daughter, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. And then okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Excellent. Don't do it for us.
So,
Do it for your daughter, please.
yeah.
Whatever you consider to be your North Star, whatever you consider to be your source of inspiration, use it. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm just pointing out the obvious. If you have this group of people, do it to amaze them, to amuse them, to make them laugh, to make them cry. And now you mentioned your daughter. That's amazing. That's beautiful. I know of other people that have the same situation as you. I mean, in the basic course, there's also a boy that is always there watching the vignettes feedback with mom. And he's always paying attention to what they're going to say about mom. That's great. That's beautiful. Yeah. And it's not only that you do it for them, it's that you're giving them the example of what they need to do, to commit, to do the stuff, and they see you do it, and they do it too easily because you show them how to do it.
Yeah, teacher, in this occasion, I had to use the different apps with natural readers. And I put my vignette in the to phonetics and DeepL, and I like to listen the pronunciation. So I have to do work more with pronunciation. So I don't know. I have a little words that the immersive reader doesn't recognize me, but I feel my work is. I did a few. No, I feel like I would work with the pronunciation because the immersive reader, they capped my pronunciation only with a little mistakes. But I like it. I like it work more in this part with the pronunciation, teacher.
Yeah, and that's something that you can self-regulate. I mean, it's a matter of time. Obviously, we have our lessons. Like every Saturday, we have our lesson, and you can use it. I have ready for you. Like I finished it. I finished it eventually this morning. I finished it. I have 600 and I think it's 30 verbs on that sheet that we were working on Saturday. I have the whole of it. So you just work on it, put it through natural readers and read it, listen to it, read it, and try to make those sounds stick to your ear. Okay, all those examples are there. I just did that with the help of
and I did my group in Flip.
All right.
I did like 3 drafts, but they during 2 minutes only. So my videos I have to cut it because I can do with the 3 minutes in my
Right.
drafts. But it's okay. I love it because after a minute I can check my pronunciation in this part. So I like it so much.
Yeah, and continue working on it. And that's the drive that you get it perfect, and it takes time. Takes time. But you can, of course, and some of you are super close to getting there. And once again, it's like whacking them all. Mistakes get improved or eliminated, and others appear.
Yeah. I want to work in more improve because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a freeze. I feel like a space totally white in my mind.
Right.
I don't have words, so I don't know why did you say that when I saw the videos of the class, and then why I did say that. No, I don't understand nothing. Why? No.
I like to do that when the class finish. I try to see the video again, and
Yeah.
I can see. Oh, I was stuck in a little bit, 2 minutes, 3 minutes stuck in. Oh, I did that.
Yeah.
Right.
I surprised, but this is the recompense that the effort, like Fab say.
True. Yes,
Yeah.
that is very right. I probably did you check but you couldn't record your sessions, right? I mean the feedback that you did on your own, you couldn't record it. Okay.
I
Maybe
can do it.
I don't know if Nancy is sleepy, you can go to bed. I think that we should watch maybe 2 or 3 tops, like for the foreigners. We have you already Aulani, Juanpa, Antonella, for example. You already watched Nancy, right?
Mm-mm.
No,
Oh, you haven't watched Nancy?
No,
Okay.
teacher.
Let's watch Nancy then.
Hi.
And if it's your option, if you want to go.
the ladies first.
Ladies
Oh,
first.
thank you.
Well, as I reflect on my childhood, I realize how fortunate I was. My parents took great
Are you listening well?
Yes.
Perfectly.
Yeah, teacher.
Because I don't think I'm sharing sound. So just 1 second. This should be better. Hold on. Did I change screens? Yeah, I did. Sorry. Right there. One more time.
Well, as I reflect on my childhood, I realize how fortunate I was. My parents took great care of me, making sure I remained healthy and safe from any potential dangers. Unlike some children, I never had to deal with serious illnesses or allergies, nor did I experience any accidents that left lasting scars. Years later, as an adult, I found myself working in a job with high risk and dangerous situations. Despite the constant potential for accidents, I managed to avoid any serious incidents. At times, I even felt like my life was uninteresting because I lacked a thrilling story to share about scars or injuries. However, this all changed when I became pregnant with my first child. As a way to commemorate my impending motherhood, I decided to get a tattoo of my baby's name. It took several years, but finally on November 26, 2015, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl. At first, everything seemed to be going smoothly. Although my contractions were intense, I managed to stay calm and focused. But then, after about 10 hours, things took a sudden turn. My doctor informed me that I was hemorrhaging and needed an urgency section. I was terrified, as I had never been in an operating room before. I could feel my body shaking uncontrollably from the anesthesia. However, when the doctor told me that I needed to calm down in order to meet my baby, I realized I have to keep my composure for her sake. I managed to steady my heart rate and underwent the C-section. Finally meeting my daughter and feeling the overwhelming joy of being a mother. Although the experience left a scar on my body, it took me a long time to accept it. I felt traumatized and ashamed of my changed appearance. But over time, I realized that the scar was a testament to my strength and the sacrifice I made for my child. It took me years to accept my new body, but eventually I came to embrace it. I realized that being a mother left an indelible mark on me, one that I am proud to carry with me every day. So I decided to forgo the tattoo I had planned and instead embraced the multiple marks of motherhood that adorns my skin.
Well, guys,
Comments?
It's a wide story, and it was sensible because Nancy told us a really story about your childhood when she was protected with her parents, and also the idea they explains you're pregnant and the day when her daughter born was incredible because she explained on more details the situation, and also I enjoy the philosophy in this story, or the conclusion, because she was remarkable in the scars that first of all she was worried about them, but afterwards she mentioned about the scars was the heritage in this moment crucial in her life. So it was a nice story, and congratulations, Nancy, because I enjoy and I love it.
All right, there you go. That's what you do, Nancy. Johan was going to say something.
Yeah, I like all the script and the story that she said, and I also love one word that I heard and I didn't know that. Forgo. It's a new word, totally new one for me.
And she used it perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. I like that. And I like your strength. So congratulations.
That's very nice feedback, Johan. I love that comment. I love your strength. That's fantastic, because, you know, strength is something that probably people never say, I love your strength. And first time I hear that combination of words, and it sounds legitimate and very nice. I like it.
I noticed, excuse me, but I noticed that, Nancy, I noticed you are improve a lot of your pronunciation. You are practice a lot because, like you say before, the tools like natural reader or to phonetics, or maybe create groups in Flip is a good strategy, and try to say the same methodology, try to put my skill in natural readers and practice maybe the link in the words. When in natural readers, the speeches is fast. Maybe into phonetics you can select the word that you can need to hear, to listen how you can pronounce. But the natural reader, the speeches is fast. But try to hear the link in the words. I like that methodology. That in my case, I say I did the same to you. You say before that I try to put my hear my voice in flip, in create groups, hear my voice in flip, in natural readers and to phonetics. Is that I like that, and I noticed that you can improve a lot of your pronunciation. I like that, Nancy. Congratulations.
Pronunciation was really good with a couple of gaffes, right? Couple of gaffes. Can't remember exactly the words, but there were a couple of words that sounded strange, completely off, but only kind of a couple. I think that 3 maybe, right? And the most piercing comment maybe in my feedback was to pay attention. Maybe what I want to say is pay attention to your scope, because the story that you told had a very clear purpose, and it was very heartfelt, very intense. It revealed so much about you. And like Johan said so fittingly, it showed your strength as a beautiful quality that you have. Beautiful strength. But then at the beginning, it was like all over, you know, and maybe it's not wrong when you're having a conversation, right? But maybe for a presentation where you learn a script, maybe while you're not having a presentation, maybe it's better to keep focusing everything more and more around that center of energy, which is your pregnancy. I think everything else took a little bit away from that really center story that started to look a little incomprehensible at first, but then it started to take form. So don't delay, and then focus on that and extract more from it, and maybe give us more detail where it's supposed to be, you know, like that moment where the decision had to be made, what crossed your mind, you know, like they're going to give you a C-section. This was not the original plan. You know, like if you could reveal what went through your mind, like the ambivalence, this is not what I signed for. I came here to have my baby delivered naturally, and now they're going to cut my body. I never thought about that possibility. And then the process of healing, which is not just the physical scar, is your mental worry that the scar was not supposed to be when you first entered that delivery room. And if you can reveal that, it can become a more humanized version of the story, which was a wonderful story. And I need you to probably come back to it. Remember that at the end of the year, I always tell, you know, we always been 1 year together, and you probably didn't see this last year. But at the end of the year, I always ask you, or I'm gonna do this again, because what am I talking about? We only been 1 year together. But last year, this is what I did. I told people, for this vignette, you're going to go back to one of your vignettes, and you're going to reprocess it. Okay? After all the feedback that you received through the different submissions of the different weeks, revisit your favorite one. I could suggest that you revisit this one, because this one is, like Johan said it, I mean, I cannot say it any better, showed a very beautiful strength that is part of you. And it's amazing how you discover it in front of us. You know, because that what Johan said was inspired by your story, nothing else. And so this is great. I mean, like, this is something that maybe you want to process again with all the love that it deserves, and make it into something that maybe one day can be even used as I don't know, a real presentation that you could give to new mothers in, I don't know, New Mexico, I don't know, whatever, you know, like you know, just an article for a magazine. You never know. I mean, just it's beautiful. So you just gotta take away all the distractions and focus on that, and focus all your intention, your attention, and your energy. That moment of tragedy and comedy and drama and art, which is delivering the baby, and the courage that you extract from wanting to meet the baby, and the courage that it takes to steady your heartbeat and become calm, because you need to greet your baby into this world. And what a sucky, shitty experience to be a crazy mom getting the baby on top of you to feel all that commotion, an emotional cocktail of shittiness, right? Better to be prepared and be happy in a happy place to meet your brand new baby. Is a new creature.
Mm.
It's a very beautiful story. It's what I want to say, Nancy. Okay, so thank you.
No, thank you, teacher. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Juanca. Thank you, Eddie, for all your kind words for my vignette.
It's a
I don't
pleasure.
know, this, when I was reading, sorry, I was writing my story. So I feel like I want to say a lot of things. But when I make my translation in ChatGPT, I feel like, I don't know, there is a lot. I can say all that. So when I ask ChatGPT more, show me only 3 tones with more verbs in past. I need more feeling, like, I don't know. So I feel like I lost my feel. So I don't want that. ChatGPT, please give my
Give my
feel,
feedback.
my feelings. Yeah.
Give me back my story.
Yeah. So, but I like it when I read one of the options, so I keep it. But when I read your feedback, teacher, I notice like exactly like you are, I don't know, like usted me estaba diciendo, ¿no? O sea, los errorcitos que yo tenía. Y sí, exactamente, yo
Gaps.
quería como que hacer I don't know, como one entrance, like suspense. What are you talking about? So tell me. Because when sometimes if you heard some woman talking about her pregnancy, her, I don't know, this kind of stuff. Oh my God, it's boring. So that's just like I felt, no? So Juanca said something like, I have a childhood totally like overprotecting for my parents. And it's true, because I don't know how to do skating with,
You can't skate?
no. I don't know how to do in a bike, ride a bike.
Ride a bike.
No, I don't know. So it's true. I don't have any accident, but I don't have any experience like funnies or maybe with risk. So my child, thanks for my husband, he is in charge to teach her all that kind stuff. So only I don't know how swimming, so he is teaching her. And then, oh my God, wow, it's funny. he's growing in
Right.
all our aspects. I don't know, but I felt like my life is a little boring because I don't have any experience like that. I have only that scars. So maybe we say, okay, I'm gonna talk it about. And it's true. I don't wanna, at this moment, I don't have planned surgery, like C-section. So it's true. I feel like in shock. I was trembling. I was totally uncontrollably. My body shaking. I have in the room, and the doctor say me, if you don't control you, I'm gonna sleep totally. And then no. And then I feel more fear. So all that details, I can say it because I feel my vignette more extensive. So only I can took a little bit of that, but I like it, that vignette. I love it, this vignette, because I see my work and I like it.
And I like the fact that you eventually could resolve the situation in the best way possible. You say that you don't have accident, you've never had accidents, you don't have scars, your life is boring, but really it's not. I mean, like nobody's life is normal or uneventful. Maybe you train yourself to believe that, but everything happens around you. You just have to notice it. And then you have to also be generous, honest with yourself and generous with others to tell us the truth. I mean, like, guys, I don't have scars because I fell off a bike or while I was skating or I hit my head when I was trying to get into the, but I got this. This is my accident.
Mm.
Phenomenal. It's a very astute decision. And that's to be appreciated.
Yeah, teacher, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so now you can go to sleep.
No, teacher, thank you for giving me all the tools for I can say more clearly all that feels, all that experience, and in a language like I wanna learn, because I told you it's like a dream for me. I wanna I wanna complete, because I don't know, I feel it. And thank you, teacher. Thank you for giving me that.
I think more than that, Nancy, I think that this is an opportunity to think about language, because obviously we never do this in Spanish.
Mm.
I mean, and we're now kind of getting to a point where the line that divides the two languages starts to blur. It's not a defined line. It starts to become blurred, invisible, and you just think in terms of language. And when we come together to do the English part of the half of our language is where we give ourselves the opportunity to notice, to speak, to have conversations about language, which we never have in Spanish. When do you discuss these matters in Spanish? Never.
No.
It's thanks to English that we start to open up our minds and become interested in other things and maybe admire things that we never did because we're learning language. So I think it's a dream that is becoming clearly true for you. It's becoming a reality. But more than that is filling you up with ideas, new things to consider. You become smarter. I think that when people speaks, when anyone speaks two languages, at least you're twice as intelligent. Because you speak two languages, man, just think about it for a second. You say, I speak two languages. That means you have knowledge of two parts of the world that were not designed to communicate freely among themselves. You can visit this place and understand what they're saying, visit that place and understand what they're saying, and you can transmit knowledge across one place to the other. This is powerful. I know that it doesn't look that way now in the modern world, but it is. I mean, you are a person that secretly can be here or there and can belong in both places. You can think in two modes. You can have two minds, two types of imaginations. That's beautiful and that's wonderful. And you got it. Okay, obviously we need to fine tune the little things here and there, but that's more about staying curious and wanting to go further. But you're there already, you arrived. Just need to feel more comfortable and start to explore more and open more your imagination to new things in English. And that's what we do with the vignettes and the other exercises.
Yeah,
So good
teacher.
job.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for all you give us, because I don't know, I feel so grateful with you, teacher, and all the and all with and all my partners because they are
Oh, it
inspiring
all
me
makes it happen.
to. Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely, Nancy. You want to go to bed now or you want to stick around?
I'm gonna hear a little more minutes.
Right. So let's go and visit.
Two minutes more, Nancy.
Couple of minutes.
Couple minutes more.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Hey, where did Antonella go?
70 more.
All right, here.
Gosh.
Hello people. Okay. I've never had a broken bone, but there was a time when I thought I had broken them all. It was during a school camp when I was 11 years. We were staying in cabins surrounded by hills, and beneath them was a natural fish reserve made up of rocks and stones. It was spring morning when the teacher proposed climb the hill. My friends and I had no experience, but we were adventurous, so we followed the teacher. The day was fabulous. The hill had large stones and the ground was very firm. Climbing it was very easy. It was time to descend, and each time I did, I picked up more speed because the sand slipped on my shoes. I tripped on a small stone and started rolling. I was terrified, but I never closed my eyes. I heard a scream from my friends as I passed them by. I tumbled for what felt like a large stone stopped me. My friends rushed over to help me. I was covered in scrapes, but no broken bones. I was sore, but I didn't cry. The teacher treated my wounds and gave me a painkiller, and we didn't go to the hospital because it was too far away. But I love the story. I still enjoy the adventure, but I am more careful now. I learned that I am brave and that I can tolerate pain. And I learned about first aid case of emergency. Thank you.
That was very nice. That was very nice. You know what? I don't know what it is about the pain of other people, or not the pain, maybe people falling, that is so funny. I know that I shouldn't laugh, but it's so, I mean, like, just, it happened to me once that I went rolling down and you cannot stop yourself. And I believe that when you see somebody just rolling down a hill, you think it's funny. But yeah, luckily she didn't break any bones, or so we think, because sometimes you break a bone, but you don't know. But yeah, that was a scary story that hopefully it's not going to happen to you, because then other people will laugh. I don't know if I don't think that she said that people laughed, but the people screamed because she was rolling down. How old was she? She was like a teenager. I forgot. But what did you feel? Did you feel the story by Antonella? Did you feel it? That's my question.
Yeah, I feel it. I can imagine the situation. I feel like oh my God, rolling and all of
Exactly.
screaming that.
Exactly. She made us
So,
see it.
yeah.
That's why I'm a jackass, and I had to laugh because I'm a jackass. But yeah, that was very vivid. That was very vivid. I could imagine her just going to pass me. No, what was that? Oh, it's Antonella. Yeah, that was intense. Very well described.
Describe Antonella like a intense girl, because she lives a lot. She lives intense. Everything she do.
Yeah.
So in this story, I enjoy a lot because first of all, she's so she like to take a risk every time, and I
True.
feel she was a younger or a little girl or a baby was quiet every time. So is a nice person. Is enjoyable this story because she, I feel she has many things for count or for tell us.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed that she has a good pronunciation. She has improved in this pronunciation. Obviously, as all of us need to improve and practice, but I feel she was practice.
She's done her work, yes.
She has a better work in this vignette, in her vignettes. Yeah.
All right. Good job. Yes. Good for Antonella.
Yeah, for Antonella, his pronunciation has improved.
A lot, right?
A lot of times we last met or met. So she sound natural and expressive, and that's, I like it.
And again, if there's those gaffes that I talk about, you know, like those little mistakes, those correspond sometimes to new vocabulary. You know, sometimes we have learned words with the wrong pronunciation associated to those words sometimes. And sometimes we just don't know. You know, it happens sometimes when we try new words. Or we assume that a word sounds this way, but it's not really the way it sounds. But it takes time. I mean, like, there are going to be those mistakes are going to be there forever, maybe. Not forever, but you know what I mean. All right, so let's watch now Aolani. She is your countrywoman, Nancy. She's your countrywoman. She is from Tijuana, from Tijuana, Mexico. That's great. Great to have two Mexicans in this group. I love it.
Yeah.
To Aolani. And she's young. She's very young.
Hi teacher, hi guys. I have never broke any bones or needed stitches, but I did have an accident when I was a child. I was 10 years old and playing with my cousins in my aunt's backyard at around 6 p.m. when it was already getting dark outside. My cousins were playing with some long nails that were used for wood, and they pulled them out of their storage place to play with them. One of the nails fell on the ground with a pointy end facing up. I left my aunt's house to get a glass of water, and I didn't realize that my cousins were playing with the nails. I was wearing Crocs, which don't have a hard sole, so I didn't feel the nail when I stepped on it. It went right through my foot. My uncles came running to help me, and another aunt, who is a doctor, arrived and examined my foot. I was crying a lot, not so much because of the pain, but because I was scared of having a long nail stuck in my foot. I think they pulled out the nail right there, but I don't remember well because I was crying. Later, I went back to my own house, and when my mom came home from work, she put my foot in a bucket of warm salt water. I don't know why my doctor aunt said that will help, but she did. I don't remember how I managed to sleep that night because I think I was crying from the pain and also had a fever due to the open wound on my foot. And the next day, I went to the hospital to get a shot, and over time the wound healed, and I didn't have any more pain or discomfort. And that's it. Thank you.
She's so cute. Okay, right? So what do you think, guys?
Oh my gosh, the mischievous cousins. Well, they are playing. So I don't know, she's talking about his accident, so natural, so funny at the
Yeah.
same time. And I can feel all the pain on my on my finger. No, what is the name of my fingers here on my foot? Toes. I can feel the pain on my toes. I don't know. And this is a remedy home, or what is that?
A home remedy.
Home remedy. Yeah, it's totally, usually in Mexico is more common. The warm water with salt, and maybe you can put a scoop like vinegar, and
Really?
it's a good.
It cures everything.
Yeah, because you can stop the hemorrhage,
The
hemorrhage. Hemorrhage. This is the word I can say in my vignette. So yeah, I don't know. She talking about his accident so natural and so clearly, and I love it.
Yeah, she looks very cute, and that's amazing. Because I think that you also have to look fresh and for the camera and look the story. Yeah, it has to look. She has to look. She has to somehow make us feel, like I said, feel the pain. In this case, and she makes us feel the pain.
She made to see this vignette easily.
True.
To try to explain any details, and also she is so fluent. She's so fluent. She looks naturally in this vignette as the last ones. But in this case, that she or that we all need to explain more details. She looks naturally. In this case, in the situation with her foot, her feet, her foot. Sorry.
Hopefully just one, right? Her foot.
Exactly. Just one.
So yeah, she makes it look easy. That's the best way to put it. She makes it look easy. Amazing. Yeah. Good, talented girl. Let's watch Juan Pablo.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's video. This time, I want to share with you one of my worst experience in the mountains. The story I am going to tell you happened at the top of a mountain after reaching the summit. Everything started badly from the first moment of the day as we suffered a hailstorm and lightning at the top of the mountain. We thought we couldn't reach the summit despite being very close, but the sky cleared up and we decided to take advantage of the opportunity. The problem came on the way back. We had to rappel down with a rope on one of the face of the mountain, and the storm was approaching, which made us more and more nervous. We decided to do it quickly, but that was our first mistake. When we had already descended, I started to gather the rope to put it in my backpack, and Sayla tried to help me. However, she was overconfident and forgot to step hard with her crampons on the ice, which caused her feet to slip at a certain moment and she slid down the slope, passing between my legs. At that moment, I thought everything was over. For a few seconds, everything was silent and my heart stopped beating. Until after a long silence, I heard Cele's voice from afar saying, "Don't worry, I'm alive and I don't have any injuries." It may have been only a few seconds, but for me it seemed like an eternity. Since then, we have learned that haste is not good and that we must pay more attention to safety. We should be thankful for being alive and for not having suffered any injuries that day. In conclusion, the mountain is very beautiful, but sometimes it can show you its darker side. I hope this story has served you to reflect on the importance of safety in the mountains. See you in the next time, and thank you for your time.
What do you think, guys?
Pampa ever has great histories. I don't know, he's so brave. This occasion he offered a history about like a little distraction can be so dangerous, and maybe you can lose more like the I don't know, in a second you can lose the life. So he's saying like, oh my gosh, for me was eternity. Yeah, and it's true, maybe for a few seconds, but you can see all your life pass on from your eyes, no, in your mind. So I don't know, I feel his vignette, his situation. In Juanpa, I don't know, I love it, his stories and his naturality, but I don't know, I would like if he could pay attention for more the reading and a little more melody, because I feel if he does that, maybe he can sound more natural and more confident.
It could improve a lot his vignette if he could do that, because the story is good, the purpose is clear, and he has so many good things in each story that he puts together. But yeah, sometimes it can sound a little bit like unfeeling, a little bit sometimes unfeeling. Although at some points it tries to break out and show us what Juan Pablo was really feeling. It sometimes is just something that we kind of perceive at times, and then it just gets lost, right? But yeah, you're right. I mean, like just the working a little bit more on intonation probably. It's the most important thing. Okay, that's his challenge now. But the story, great. And yeah, it's very scary. And I could feel the horror of 2 seconds.
The scary story. As always, Juan Pablo try to explain a good story and leave the message, message, a good conclusion. In this case, to take care with the nature and with the adventure or what the extreme sports in this case. And he's someone expert in this case. So I couldn't think another story because he loved to live to live the life intensity with intensity, and also he is a memorable in these stories.
He's a good storyteller.
Exactly. So it's good to practice a lot because he has several material to tell us.
Potential. He has true potential.
Exactly.
He's really, really good.
So
really good.
It's good to try to improve in his pronunciation. Follow the advices that received here.
Good point. Really good story. Let's watch the other foreigner. The other foreigner is Angela Sierra.
Good day, everyone. Okay, this vignette is about close call. When I was about 10 years old, I went on a camping trip with my family and cousins. We decided to climb a tree near the campsite. Even though it wasn't an experience to climb there, I managed to climb up to the tree, but when I tried to reach a high branch, I lost my balance and fell down. I landed on my back and my left elbow hit a rod, causing a deep cut. What a blend alert. I ran to my parents, who were by the campfire, and they quickly realized that I needed medical attention. They cleaned my wound with water and the cloth, and they stopped the bleeding by applying pressure. We were in a remote area with no hospital nearby, so my parents used the first aid supplies to close the cut, which is not very big. Although it was a scary experience for me, it taught me a valuable lesson. I learned that accidents can happen unexpectedly, so it is important to be prepared. I also realized that seeking medical attention right away is crucial and that my parents were capable of providing first aid. Looking back, I am grateful that I didn't need to go to the hospital for stitches. This experience made me more cautious during the physical activities, but it also made me appreciate the importance of taking calculated risks and high form while being mindful of potential dangers. Thank you for listening to me. Bye.
Comments?
Good pronunciation. I noticed that she practiced your pronunciation in the last vignette. This is better. She did improve a lot the pronunciation. Angela emphasize in that aspect. Yes, emphasize. And I don't know that sounds natural and more confident. Every time I see Angela, it's more confident and more commitment. That's it.
Yeah, but there are a couple of mistakes once again, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a very good story. I like the way that she makes it look, the story. I like the look that she shows as she tells the story. It's very appropriate. I like her smile. I like the way that she sees things now in perspective, and she's amazed at how lucky she was for her parents and everything else. I like the story very much, and I liked her attitude. And I like the way that she's playing now with intonation and rhythm. She's making experiments. You can see like, okay, I like that. It sounded all together. I like how she made that sound. Okay. And she's got her own special accent like we all do. And her accent is so great. I think that she could also work on that accent to make it more available to her. So it doesn't become an accent that she just has, and it becomes an accent that she can make more noticeable because it's cool. I like it. I like her accent. I think it adds to the story. So yeah, that's what I had to say. Besides the feedback that I wrote.
I can notice that in the Angela's story and the another story, everyone's story, we always have to take to tell a story about when we were disobedient with our parents. Yeah, and normally every accident is for that. So the great conclusion in these stories about bone breaks and several cuts in our skin, right?
There you go, my friend. You are right. You are so right. Never have you been righter. What were you gonna say?
I love it, his story, and it's true. Maybe it's true. Anything can be happen when until we I don't have the word. Menos lo esperamos. So
When we least expect it.
Yeah, only we least expect. She looks so confident on besides she's reading, but I don't know. I would like if she took challenge like herself with more difficult phrases or more words. I don't know. I feel like she has a good intonation. Besides, she is reading like me, obviously, but I don't know. I like it if he do it.
She's ready to challenge herself, you say.
Yeah.
I like that. Great critical advice, which is sometimes like, I think that Eddie also received that advice by, I think it was Luis, who said, Eddie, you're ready to challenge yourself, right?
And she took risk. She took risk with the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because it was right.
There are a couple of words that were probably a little troublesome because maybe they're new. All right, excellent.
Teacher, now I had to go. My bed.
Time to go. Your bed is calling you. Come here.
Thank you, teacher. Thanks
Nancy,
a lot.
you've been very generous with your time. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, teacher. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Nancy.
Good night. Good night.
Have a good night, buddy.
Have a good night.
Have sweet dreams.
Thank you, Juanca. Bye.
And so, guys, what about your vignettes? Were you happy with your vignettes? What's your self feedback on the vignettes?
I need to practice.
How do you feel?
In my case, I need to practice. I feel that in this one, I don't rehearse
Yeah.
enough.
Mhm.
And also the last part, I complete and send the one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. What the hell?
I was tired right away. Exactly. So I would like to don't llegar a ese momento. Don't comes in this moment. I don't know. I try to translate word by word, but no. I know that the success in this process is try and try, and I keep trying, I keep trying, I keep trying every time. But this one, I feel that I need to rehearsal several times.
There is no any other way around it. That's it.
In my case, Fab, I try to leave my vignettes that if I were in that moment, I remember that couple of things. For example, remember my grandmother when I was building my vignettes. I remember the moment when I was in the floor. When I get up, I noticed that my pants were torn. I say that my grandmother is gonna hit me. She was gonna hit me. She was gonna rip off and piece up. But I try to rememorize that situation. I like that. Another thing that I did was try to put the names in the history, the real names. And in this case, my friend Julian, he was playing with me in that moment. My uncle Carlos, the person who takes me to the hospital in that moment. I don't remember the name of the doctor, but I remember when he said that I have to put the 8 stitches because the wound is significant. Like I said in my vignette.
Yeah.
That moment was remarkable for me, and I tried to do that vignette more with more experience, with more vivence. I don't know the vibes. I don't know what is the word. El de vivir la viñeta. Entonces, that was where that was I can do it. I can try to do in this case.
Do you feel like you accomplished that? Making your vignette come alive? Did you accomplish it, Eddie?
Yes. I managed to making my vignette. I managed to came to that moment. I accomplished.
I think that it's all about believing it, right? I mean, like, can you enter back that moment in your memory and feel the pain and feel the fear?
Absolutely.
Being yelled at, being reprimanded, being...
Absolutely. That, like I said before, that moment I came to my mind, my grandmother pissed off and telling me what happened with you, why you do why you turn the pants. That when I, like I said Juan Carlos before, when I realized that the blood kind of the blood is kind of the pants, I noticed that the problem is big. It's not only pants.
The problem is big.
A big problem.
We're in big trouble.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. It's a big problem.
A big trouble.
Oh boy.
Fab, do you allow me to make a feedback in this kind of feedbacks for the vignettes?
Yeah.
I would like to say you that people like to receive the feedback in your voice. So if you want the opportunity to send a message like the first time, because the first time was done was writing and was in video. So I know that it demand time for you, but I feel people feel comfortable when receive their feedback directly from you, because because they expect you are the you receive and you send the advices in this case. So
Good
it's
point.
in my humble opinion.
But
You're-
demanding more time for do that. But it's probably we can try to make the first part of this year, the first 3 months, that all the opinions, but I try to make the all opinions. But that strategy I liked, the actual strategy. I like the methodology, but we can do like last year, all the opinions that you make the point of view of if every vignette. I don't know, but demanding more time. This is the problem. For that is the
Yeah.
new strategy.
The thing
It's
is that
true.
providing this feedback, like on a one-to-one basis, written and making the analysis is taking me, on average, is taking me 3 to 4 hours.
Exactly. So
It's sure, absolutely
it's
more.
hard. It's tough.
So then add to that and add to that, then it becomes a marathon. So I also have to try to find some common ground, maybe find a way to strike a balance. So it's not so demanding. I have to find a way, because I've been experimenting, trying with, more centered feedback, more tailored feedback to each one, and giving you back your voice. Like I'm going to give you the feedback, but now you provide the other part of the feedback yourselves. But we need to continue to adjust and experiment until we find something that works better than anything before, because we always have to push the status quo. Not only you, also me. I also have to try to experiment with different things and find the best way to get the most out of this experience, because as we have defined it, this is pretty much the spine, the backbone of this project, is the fact that you can learn from your stories, that you have a whole week to explore and be amazed and try to amaze others. That's the whole story here. The fact that you tell your stories.
And in this way that you mentioned about the try to make experiments and empower us for this session, in this case, because it allows us to make to develop our vocabulary and interact more time than before. I don't know if you can empower another people in the group, because
Exactly.
the idea is we take a bunch in all topics of the sessions of the course. I don't know if people maybe can to participate if the session or in the session in one week can be in another day. I don't know. because for example, you invite us for lead this group, and in this case Liana can join today. So I don't know if you try to give this this session in other day. I don't know if it's one idea that
Yeah.
you manage.
Yeah, we need to continue to evolve and adapt. I mean, nothing is written on stone, because the moment that we fall into comfort is where we enter the danger zone of it's boring. We have to stay afresh and find new ways. Yeah, that is not something that we shouldn't consider. We actually should consider making changes to adapt to the people and to make more people be in each session. For example, the pronunciation sessions on Saturdays have become highly I mean, they're not being completely taken advantage of. So I'm thinking about probably doing something about it by creating maybe a longer session in the week and dividing the work between this, and then move on to pronunciation and eliminate completely the Saturday session, because I regularly see 4, 5 people and we're 25. So that means that we're the 20 people, which is 80% are not taking advantage of this. So we're wasting the opportunity. So if more people can come on Thursday, for example, and stay longer, then we should do the session Thursday. Like, let's probably do this and then do pronunciation.
Yeah, because it's the strong topic that we need to improve.
You need to work on the most.
To become consistent in this
maybe
case.
change the schedule.
We need to make changes, and those changes need to be strategic. If things are not working, we have to move them until they work.
Maybe try to put the pronunciation on Thursday. Yes, maybe change for the reading for the Saturday. I don't know, a test. You try to do a test.
Or just do a longer session on Thursday and eliminate Saturday. Let's start experimenting and see what works better. We don't know right now. We have to try. And once we have tried things and we see what works, then we got it. We figured it out. But we need to experiment with different approaches. But yeah, I wanted to mention that now that you mentioned that maybe we should make changes to accommodate more people according to their schedules and availabilities. Maybe also consider Saturdays, which is right now an issue in my mind. It's like, okay, we don't have enough people. Let's start thinking about moving that too and see what happens.
Yep.
So
let's a possibility. Yes, a possibility.
And keep thinking about it, obviously. Because our work is not done here. We continue to work and we need to evolve and we need to find ways. And I hope that this still means that we are making progress. I mean, to you personally. Because, yeah, I mean, we're never going to figure it completely out. And things are going to keep on changing, like with everything. I mean, it's a moving target. And plus, we get new people coming in. I think that we're going to have probably 1 or 2 more people coming in. There are inevitably going to be people leaving us too, eventually, I mean, this month too, because if you don't do the work, then what do you expect, right? You can be wonderful, but if you don't do the work, you really are not doing enough to stay here, right? And we need to continue looking and looking and looking, and maybe we're never going to get an entire team that we can call the dream team, but that doesn't prevent us from trying to find that impossibility. Just continue looking. That's it. Anyway, I thank you very much for your time. As always, we always push the limits, right?
Thanks for you.
And yeah, I promise you that I'm going to start. I'm not going to stop thinking about different ways to make these sessions more meaningful and more dynamic, and maybe find a way to not use so much time, anybody's time, but make it more, you know,
Empowered.
yeah, more powerful, but packed tightly. Because, you know, you always have to factor in time, and time is limited.
Okay.
You need to do other stuff. I don't know, whatever. It can be something mundane. I need to wash the dishes, but it's 11. Now I can. I'm going to go to sleep now because I'm sleepy, for example. Anyway, go to bed now. Thank you very much for your time, your attention, and your hard work.
Thank you, Fab.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Fab.
Juanca, for your time, Fab.
Have a good night and get some rest, guys. Thank you very much for your hard work.
See
Have a
you.
good night también.
See you next
See
time.
you.